Hello, this is Dan Green. Hello, Gearspace, and I'm from 4MS Company. We're here at Superbooth 2022, and we have some new modules that we are presenting here. So we have several variations of envelopes with VCAs. This is the dual shaped envelope here, and it is a 2-channel envelope with analog wave shaping. And I don't know if you see the screen as well. I will show you the wave shaping. So this can generate envelopes. You have a rise and a fall time that are separate sliders, and then you also have a wave shape control, and you can do from log to linear to exponential, plucky type shapes that when you change the wave shape, it doesn't change the timing, the rise and fall, and it's all 100% analog. So it's an actual wave shaper in the true sense of the word. You can also do some clever tricks. It has an end of fall output, and say, for instance, you patch that into the shape CV jack, then you can get different wave shapes on the rise than the fall, because when this goes high during the rise period, it changes the wave shape via the CV jack. So it's pretty, and it's pretty clever. Like here, I have a linear rise and an exponential fall, for instance. It also has time CV jacks and then attenuverters on the rise and fall control, so you can really dial in your modulations pretty precisely. What else? Oh, yes. So it goes into the audio range at very fast speeds, as well as it has a 3-position time switch, so it goes down to the slowest speeds. Go down to around 2 minutes just using the sliders by themselves, but then you can also patch CV in here and just turn these attenuators all the way down, and you can go down to about 20 minutes, really slow LFOs, if you like. The envelope, it has the internal VCA actually, which we're actually using over on this one over here. I think I turned that down. Here we go. So here you can hear the wave shapes. Like, so here's a linear wave shape through the internal VCA, and then here's a exponential wave shape. You hear it's very plucky sounding, and then go up to the log wave shape, and it actually just sounds open almost all the time. So while you change the wave shape, you also have a linear, a dedicated output jack that only outputs a linear signal. So I can use that, maybe modulate one of the parameters on my oscillator, and while I change the shape, that linear signal doesn't change shape. So it's nice, also nice for self-modulating, using one channel to modulate the other or something like that. As you modulate some of the parameters, that output jack stays steady, so it can be used as a source. There's an OR jack, analog OR, which takes the peaks of both sides, and you can use that for tricks, complex like 4-stage envelopes and things. You just chain the two together. And yeah, there's a bunch of little really cool ways you can self-patch this thing and get some really interesting shapes out of it. The VCA sections can be used independently, so you can use that as an independent VCA with its own audio in, out, and CV jack on both sides. So there's 2 independent VCAs, 2 independent envelopes. If you don't patch the VCA CV jack, it just runs like it is now, where the envelope is run into the VCA automatically. So that's the shaped envelope VCA. It has a slightly smaller brother. This is 20 HP, and it is I forget the price. I'm sorry. It's $319. It will be available in October. So we have it has a slightly smaller I don't know, related module, sibling module called the just the Dual EnvVCA, which is basically the same thing, but doesn't have the analog wave shaping. So it's 16 HP, so it's a little smaller and pretty much the same thing. You notice it's missing the wave shape and the cool LEDs that change color as you change the shape, but it's overall pretty much the same thing. And then this has a very baby cousin that is just one channel of that. It's a really small, convenient 8 HP envelope VCA. It's just it is not the VCA is always tied to the envelope output. It doesn't have a separate CV input. But if you just want to compact, I want to make notes, I want to make sounds, or like modulate, a VCA with a built-in envelope, it's a great solution for that too. So the two, the medium one and the small one will be ready in September, mid-September. And the small one will be $159 US, and the dual without the shaping will be $225 US. So those are our envelopes. So they're all. We also have another envelope module, which is sitting right next to it, which is based on a module that used to be really popular when it came out, which was the PEG, the pingable envelope generator. It's maybe considered like vintage Eurorack by now because it came out in. I just got a no for that. But it's, anyways, I say that jokingly because it seems so long ago that when Eurorack was still young, we released it. But what it is now we have the mini PEG. So it's an 8 HP version of that classic module that gives you clock synced envelopes or clock synced LFOs. So you run a clock in, or you tap a tempo, and then you have a divisions and multiples, integer divisions or multiples of that tempo. You can also, so you can run a clock into it, or you can use its clock to run out to something else. So it can be either ahead of the chain. You can cycle or not cycle. This one also has the ability to change the wave shape without changing the timing. That's why it's clock synced envelope. But this has no VCA and it's 100% digital. So it's a different thing than our other ones. But this is the digital solution to that. You get scale and offset knobs, so you can have a bipolar output or total inverted envelope, or fully, you can offset it from -10 to +10 volts and scale it the same also. And it also has the dedicated 5-volt envelope output jack, which is great for self-modulating or modulating other things. CV for both the knobs and trigger, and you can toggle the cycle, whether it's cycling or not, with a gate on that jack too. So yeah, if you're familiar with the PEG, this is one channel of the PEG, and with the shape, the shape knob replaces the slew and shape knob of the PEG. You get the rising to falling only at the extremes, and then in the middle you get balanced, equal rise and fall times, but you go from expo to triangle to logarithmic in the center position of that. So it's a real natural curve as you turn it from like ramp ups to like balance to like fat to like ramps downs. So that'll be also ready in September, and it'll be $159 also. And then we have another throwback module coming out too. This one will be in October. This is the Shuffling Clock Multiplier Plus. If you have seen our Shuffling Clock Multiplier, which is exactly the left half of this, and our Shuffling Clock Multiplier Breakout, which is exactly the right half of this, we just stuck them together and made it one module. And it's because I think probably we should have done this from the start back in 2011 or something, but because they go together so well, because they make, I think a lot of people missed out on realizing that like the expander, people don't want to buy expanders. You buy the module, and then you want to buy something else. I understand. But it really gives you all these rhythmic variations and ways to shuffle, slip, and like skip different beats and do these crazy beat patterns just in a tiny, little module. And you get 8 clock outputs. So we think it's a great combo. So it'll be done in October as well. Thank you.